Have you ever found yourself in that familiar, unsettling space, caught in the echo of an argument you've had countless times before? Perhaps it's the same point of contention, the same unspoken frustration, or the same cycle of distance and anxious reconciliation. You look at your partner, then at yourself, and a quiet, insistent question rises from within. Why does this keep happening? You feel the weight of emotional exhaustion, the subtle erosion of hope, and a deep, gnawing sense that something fundamental isn't quite right. It's not just about the argument itself. It's about the patterns, the predictable dance of disappointment, the feeling of being trapped in a loop that seems beyond your control. This isn't merely a relationship problem. It is a profound spiritual mirror, reflecting back to you the unspoken truths of your inner world, the very landscape of your soul. For too long, we have been conditioned to view these recurring conflicts as failures, as signs that a relationship is inherently flawed, or that there is something irrevocably wrong with us or with our partner. We seek external solutions, tactical advice, or superficial changes, hoping to mend a wound that lies much deeper. But what if these repetitive struggles are, in truth, an intricate language spoken by your soul, a message from your deepest self? What if the frustration, the abandonment fears, the feeling of being unseen are not just random emotional reactions, but precise indicators, guiding you towards profound self-mastery and liberation? In the vast ocean of modern relationship advice, much of it often feels like trying to bail water from a sinking ship with a teaspoon. It speaks of high value and boundaries, yet often leaves you feeling more fragmented, more strategic, and less connected to your authentic power. The true value, the real boundary, resides within you, anchored in the unwavering presence of your you, the sovereign self that is the very core of your being. This is where Raja Yoga, the yoga of royal will and self-mastery, converges with the timeless wisdom of Bhakti, the path of conscious devotion, to offer a radical new perspective. This path does not ask you to change him, nor does it ask you to become someone you are not. It asks you to turn inward, to observe the intricate dance of your own mind, and to reclaim the powerful will that resides at your center. The recurring fight in this light is not an obstacle to your happiness, but a sacred invitation. It is a portal through which your you can finally assert its sovereignty over the turbulent currents of the non-you, the restless mind, the fleeting emotions, the external validations that have so often dictated your inner peace. Think of your mind as a vast, ancient forest, filled with well-trodden paths, habits of thought, emotional reactions, ingrained patterns of expectation and response. These are the vrittis, the fluctuations of the mind, as described in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. When you find yourself reliving the same conflict, it is often because your mind automatically reverts to one of these familiar paths, pulled by a subconscious magnetic force. The external fight is merely a symptom of an internal discord, a reverberation of an unexamined belief or an unhealed wound within your own consciousness. Bhakti, on the other hand, calls you to transcend these conditioned responses by elevating your awareness, connecting to a higher purpose, and understanding that all relationships are ultimately fields for spiritual growth and purification of karma. Today, we will unveil 5 profound secrets that the same recurring fight reveals about your soul. These are not secrets meant to give you power over another, but profound insights designed to ignite the power within you. We will explore how these patterns, often disguised as external battles, are in truth reflections of your own projections, your deepest attachments, your karmic lessons, and your very potential for liberation. You will learn to differentiate between the illusory grip of fleeting passion and the steadfast clarity of true consciousness. You will begin to understand how to use your sovereign will to break cycles of repetition, transforming the pain of disappointment into a powerful catalyst for profound self-realization. This is not about fixing a relationship. It is about liberating yourself. Are you ready to stop fighting the same battle on the outside and begin claiming the unshakable peace and power that reside within? Are you prepared to see beyond the superficial dynamics and truly understand what your soul is trying to tell you through these recurring conflicts? Let us embark on this journey of self-discovery, transforming the familiar sting of repetitive arguments into a pathway towards ultimate sovereignty and unconditional love, first for your own you, and then truly for the world around you. The first secret the same fight reveals about your soul is this: it is a powerful mirror reflecting your own unacknowledged projections and deepest, often subconscious needs. You see an action, a silence, or a response from your partner, and your mind, swift as a darting bird, immediately layers it with meaning, with history, with a narrative born not necessarily from his reality, but from your own internal landscape. This isn't a flaw, it's a fundamental mechanism of the mind. As Yogi Ramacharaka teaches in Raja Yoga, the mind is a potent instrument, capable of shaping perception and, consequently, our reality. When you consistently encounter the same point of friction, observe closely what narrative your mind instantly constructs around it. Is it a story of abandonment? Of not being enough? Of being misunderstood, unheard, or unchosen? These stories, often triggered by subtle cues, are not merely reactions. They are active projections of your own internal world onto the canvas of the relationship. Consider the common experience of a partner's withdrawal. One woman's mind might immediately translate this into, "He is abandoning me," triggering an ancient fear rooted in childhood or past relationships. Another's might interpret it as, "I am not important enough for him to prioritize," activating a deep-seated wound of self-worth. Yet another might perceive it as, "He is punishing me for something," evoking a sense of guilt or perceived unworthiness. The external event, his silence, is simply a neutral data point until your mind imbues it with your particular flavor of fear or insecurity. This is the intricate dance between the you and the non-you. Your you, the true self, is the silent observer, the pure consciousness, but the non-you, the mind, driven by its habitual patterns and past impressions, samskaras, leaps to identify with these projections, suffering the consequences. The pain you feel is not the silence itself, it is the identification with the story your mind creates about that silence. The silent anguish of not being prioritized, the fear of losing identity by trying to contort yourself to fit into his world. These are not external battles. They are internal conflicts born from a fragmented sense of self, where the mind, seeking validation, attaches its peace to external outcomes. Bhakti, the path of devotion, offers a radical shift here. It invites you to understand that true fulfillment and identity are not found in the fleeting dynamics of human relationships, but in your intrinsic connection to the divine, to your own pure essence. When your identity becomes rooted in the you and its eternal connection to a higher purpose, the projections begin to lose their power. You are not defined by his attention or his absence. You are defined by the unwavering light of your own soul. A practical exercise from Raja Yoga to begin observing these projections is to cultivate the witness consciousness. The next time that familiar fight begins to brew, or you feel the first pangs of the recurring emotional pattern, consciously pause. Do not react. Do not speak. Instead, turn your attention inward. Witness your thoughts as they arise. He's pulling away. He doesn't care. I'm always the one giving. Observe these thoughts without judgment, without engaging with them. See them as clouds passing in the sky of your mind. Do not identify with them. Do not claim them as your truth. Simply observe. Then, gently, redirect your awareness to the physical sensations in your body. Where do you feel the tension, the tightness, the anxiety? This act of observation creates a sacred space between your you, the observer, and the non-you, the thoughts and emotions. This is a profound act of sovereignty. It is using your will, your conscious choice, to detach from the mind's automatic programming. Bhakti teaches us that even in our relationships, we are cultivating a deeper love, not for the object of our affection, but for the principle of love itself, which emanates from the divine within. When you see your partner not just as an individual, but as another soul on a similar journey, the dynamics shift. The fight becomes less about him versus me and more about my mind versus myself. This is the liberation from the cycle of self-defeating projections. The secret here is that the repeated fight isn't a problem with him. It's a profound invitation from your soul to integrate and heal the fragmented parts of yourself that are crying out for attention through these projections. The second secret revealed by the same fight is its profound connection to your patterns of attachment and the underlying fears that fuel them. This isn't about blaming you, it's about understanding the intricate workings of the mind and the deep conditioning that often drives our emotional responses. When a particular conflict repeats, it very often triggers a primal fear within you, the fear of abandonment, of not being chosen, of not being enough, or the terror of losing a perceived connection. This fear then manifests as an attachment style, be it an anxious pursuit or an avoidant withdrawal. But from a yogic perspective, these are all just different expressions of vriddhis, the fluctuations of the mind, driven by the illusion of separation from your true self. The belief that your peace, your worth, or your happiness is contingent upon someone else's actions, presence, or validation is the very root of this suffering. Consider the desperate desire to be the choice and not just an option. This deep longing often masks a fear of insignificance. When the recurring fight pushes you into this space, it's not merely his actions that are causing distress. It's the way your mind latches onto the possibility of not being chosen, and then identifies your entire sense of self-worth with that outcome. Your you, the sovereign self, knows its inherent worth, independent of any external validation. But the non-you, the conditioned, mind driven by insecurity and past experiences, frantically seeks to solidify its value through external means, creating the very attachment that causes pain. This is the battle internal, between the you that knows its value and the needy mind that seeks external validation. This is where the concept of karma becomes profoundly relevant. The patterns of abandonment, of feeling unseen, of repeating the same emotional dynamics, these are not random misfortunes. They are often reflections of karmic imprints, lessons your soul has brought into this lifetime to be purified and transcended. This specific fight, therefore, is not a punishment, but an opportunity. It is the universe, through the actions and reactions within your relationship, presenting you with the very pattern you need to observe, understand, and ultimately break. Bhakti teaches us that relationships are a sacred field for the purification of our karma. Every interaction, every conflict, every moment of joy or pain holds a deeper spiritual purpose, guiding us towards liberation from these repetitive cycles of suffering. An invisible error many women make is attempting to not care or trying to master external detachment without addressing the internal attachment. You might try to appear aloof, busy, or independent, hoping this will somehow shift the dynamic. But if the underlying attachment, the mind's grip on the outcome, the fear of abandonment, remains untouched, this external performance is merely a fragile facade. The solution, from Raja Yoga, lies not in pretending to not care, but in genuinely cultivating inner detachment from the outcome. This is a powerful act of will. When you find yourself in the throes of the recurring fight, and that familiar fear of abandonment arises, consciously observe the fear. Acknowledge its presence without letting it define you. Then, gently but firmly, remind yourself, I am the self, independent of this fear. My peace is not dependent on this outcome. My worth is not defined by this situation. This is not easy. Your mind, accustomed to its patterns of fear and attachment, will protest. It will whisper narratives of doom and loss. This is precisely where your conscious will comes into play. Use it as a steering wheel, gently guiding your awareness back to the center of your you. Visualize your fear as a wave in a vast ocean. You are the deep, unchanging ocean itself, not the fleeting wave. The repeated fight is a loud echo of an unhealed attachment within you. a summons to finally confront and release the cords that bind your inner peace to external variables. By consciously detaching from the outcome and focusing on your internal state of being, you begin to break the karmic chain, transforming the very fear that has held you captive into a potent source of sovereign power. This is how you stop accepting less than you deserve, not by demanding it from another, but by claiming it from within. The third secret that the same fight reveals about your soul is this. It is highlighting your deep-seated tendency to try and control the external world, him, before mastering your own internal world, yourself. The frustration of repeating the same errors, of watching patterns unfold despite your best efforts, often stems from a fundamental misdirection of your will. You pour immense energy into trying to predict his moods, decode his silence, or elicit a specific response from him. You might even, subconsciously, believe that if only he would change, if only he would respond differently, your suffering would cease. This is a profound illusion, a trap set by the non-you, the egoic mind, which perpetually seeks to exert its control over circumstances and individuals, believing that external alignment will bring internal peace. The Raja Yoga philosophy, as taught by Yogi Ramacharaka, emphasizes that true power resides in the conscious and deliberate use of your will to master your own mind and emotions. Your mind is like a garden. You can choose what to cultivate within it. If your conscious will is constantly directed outwards, attempting to manipulate or influence the environment or another person, it becomes diffused and ineffective. The recurring fight is a potent signal that your will is misdirected. It's a cosmic alarm clock, urging you to bring that powerful energy back home, back to the center of your you, and to direct it towards your own internal discipline and transformation. The I desire to be the choice and not an option, while deeply understandable, often leads to strategies of control. Trying to be perfectly calm, perfectly independent, perfectly alluring. But this external performance, if not rooted in true internal sovereignty, becomes a heavy burden. It's the constant battle between the you that knows its inherent completeness and the needy mind that seeks external validation as a prerequisite for its happiness. This endless striving to manage the relationship often causes the very exhaustion and emptiness you feel. The silence or emotional unavailability of your partner in this light is not a punishment. It is, paradoxically, an invitation to a deeper intimacy with yourself, a space where you are forced to confront your own anxieties and learn to source your peace from within. Here's a powerful mental model from Raja Yoga. Imagine your inner world as a magnificent kingdom, and your you as the sovereign monarch. Your mind and emotions are your loyal subjects, your instruments. When you try to control another person's actions or mind, it's akin to your monarch abandoning their own kingdom to try and rule a neighboring one. Chaos ensues in your own realm. The error is fatal, attempting to control his mind before mastering your own. The solution lies in reclaiming your inner throne. When the fight repeats, observe your immediate impulse to react, to fix, to demand. Instead, pause. Direct your will inwards. Ask, what is my you choosing to cultivate in this moment? Not, what is he doing? But what am I doing with my own consciousness? Bhakti offers a beautiful complement to this. It teaches us about dharma, our inherent purpose and spiritual duty, and the importance of acting without attachment to the fruits of our actions. In relationships, this means engaging with love and truth, but releasing the need for a specific outcome from the other person. Radha, in her devotion to Krishna, exemplifies loving completely, without losing her own divine identity. Her love was an act of inner offering, not a demand for reciprocal behavior. This shifts the dynamic from desperate attempts at control to a powerful act of conscious choice and inner alignment. The repeated fight is a poignant reminder that your true power lies not in coercing another's will, but in forging your own. It is an opportunity to practice releasing the illusion of external control and embracing the profound liberation that comes from mastering your own inner domain. This path transforms the anxiety of waiting into a potent energy of attraction, not by manipulation, but by becoming a beacon of true inner peace and self-possession. We have journeyed together through the intricate landscape of recurring relationship conflicts, peeling back the layers to reveal the profound spiritual lessons hidden beneath the surface. We began by acknowledging the deep emotional resonance of these patterns, the exhaustion, the fear of abandonment, the quiet ache of feeling unseen. We challenged the conventional wisdom that blames external circumstances or others, and instead turned inward, guided by the sovereign wisdom of Raja Yoga and the liberating insights of Bhakti. The 5 secrets revealed by the same fight are not quick fixes or superficial tips. They are profound invitations from your soul to claim your inherent power and recenter your you. First, we saw that the fight is a powerful mirror reflecting your own unacknowledged projections and deepest, often subconscious needs. It is your mind layering personal narratives onto neutral events, creating suffering through identification with the non-you. The path here is to cultivate witness consciousness, observing thoughts and emotions without identification, thereby reclaiming your sovereignty over your inner narrative. Second, we understood that it connects profoundly to your patterns of attachment and the underlying fears that fuel them. Whether it's the fear of abandonment or the desperate need to be chosen, these are not external problems but karmic imprints and vriddis of the mind. The solution is not to not care, but to genuinely cultivate detachment from the outcome through conscious will, understanding that your worth is intrinsic and not contingent on external validation. This empowers you to break repetitive karmic cycles, transforming fear into unshakable self-possession. Third, we illuminated the truth that the fight highlights your deep-seated tendency to try and control the external world, him, before mastering your own internal world, yourself. This misdirection of will leads to exhaustion and disappointment. The remedy is to bring that powerful energy back to your center, reclaiming your inner throne, and focusing your will on mastering your own mind and emotions. This shift from external control to internal mastery is a profound act of liberation, allowing you to love with the devotion of Radha without losing your own divine identity or dharma. These repeating conflicts are not intended to destroy you. They are sacred catalysts for your deepest growth. They are the universe's way of showing you exactly where your self is fragmented, where your power is leaking, and where you are still identifying with the non-you instead of standing firm in the unshakable presence of your you. Every sting of disappointment, every moment of confusion, is an opportunity to shed another layer of illusion and step more fully into the truth of who you are. Imagine your you as an unblemished diamond, radiating pure, steady light. Over time, life's experiences, especially in relationships, can coat this diamond with layers of dust and debris, projections, attachments, fears, and the illusion of external control. Each recurring fight is an opportunity to gently, but firmly, polish away a layer of this dust. It is not about changing the diamond itself, but about revealing its inherent brilliance. This is the essence of true alchemy, transmuting the lead of conflict and pain into the gold of self-knowledge and liberation. The wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita reminds us of our dharma, our soul's unique purpose. Often in the pursuit of love or connection, we can become so attached to the fruits of our actions, the desired outcome of a relationship, that we lose sight of our deeper spiritual purpose. These fights call us back to our dharma, reminding us that our primary relationship is with ourself, and, through that, with the divine. When you stand firm in your dharma, rooted in your you, your presence itself becomes a magnet for what truly aligns with your soul's evolution, not merely its fleeting desires. So, the next time that familiar argument resurfaces, do not despair, do not blame, do not shrink. Instead, pause. See it as an ancient friend, albeit a challenging one, arriving with a profound message. Hear the whispered invitation from your soul. Observe the mind's dance. Reclaim your will. Recenter in your you. This is not about winning the fight. It is about winning yourself. And in that victory, you discover a peace a power, and a sovereignty that no external circumstance can ever diminish. It is a love that transcends the ordinary, because it begins within and radiates outwards, transforming every aspect of your reality. The journey of self-mastery, particularly within the crucible of intimate relationships, is a path of profound courage and unwavering introspection. It is not for the faint of heart, nor for those who cling to superficial answers. It is for the woman who, having tasted the bitter repetition of unfulfilled promises and unaddressed wounds, yearns for a truth that penetrates beyond the surface, a wisdom that genuinely heals and empowers. You have learned today that the persistent echoes of the same argument are not just signs of discord, but sacred signals, guiding you deeper into the architecture of your own being. They are the precise pointers to where your power is fragmented, where your consciousness is misdirected, and where your you is waiting to be fully awakened and asserted. Consider the strength of Draupadi, whose resilience in the face of immense trials always led her back to her core dharma, to her unwavering connection to a higher purpose, or the quiet power of Kunti, who navigated profound loss and challenge by holding on to her inner truth. These aren't just stories, they are archetypes of the sovereign feminine spirit that resides within you. This spirit is not defined by external circumstances or the actions of another, but by its capacity to observe, to understand, and to reclaim its own divine center, especially when the world outside feels chaotic. The transformation we speak of is not instantaneous. It is a subtle yet profound alchemy that occurs through consistent, conscious practice. It is in the moment you choose to observe your projection rather than react to it. It is in the instant you release the outcome of a conversation and recenter your will in your inner peace. It is in the recognition that the longing for external validation is merely a craving of the non-you, and that your true satisfaction resides in the unshakable presence of your you. The silence of another, which once filled you with dread, can now become a profound space for introspection, a sacred retreat where you finally hear the voice of your own sovereign self, unburdened by external noise. This path is about cultivating an unshakable sense of self-worth that is rooted so deeply within you that no external validation, no shifting dynamic, no perceived rejection can ever diminish it. It is about understanding that your happiness, your completeness, is not something to be found in another person, but something to be cultivated and realized within your own being. A relationship, then, becomes a beautiful complement, a field for shared growth and expansion, rather than a desperate necessity for your happiness. You learn to love with a devotion that is not clinging, but liberating, a love that honors your identity as much as it honors the other. This is the true meaning of loving without losing yourself, a lesson deeply embedded in the Bhakti tradition, as exemplified by the conscious devotion of Radha. Your journey from emotional dependence to the sovereignty of the you is the most heroic journey you will ever undertake. It requires radical honesty, fierce self-compassion, and a relentless commitment to seeing beyond the illusions of the mind. The recurring fight, once a source of deep frustration, becomes a powerful catalyst, a recurring invitation to claim your inner kingdom, to govern your thoughts, to master your emotions, and to stand unshakable in your truth. This is the promise of Raja Yoga and Bhakti, not a life free of challenges, but a life lived with profound lucidity, sovereign power, and an unyielding connection to the divine wellspring of your own being. If the resonance of these words has stirred something within you, if you recognize the truth in these deeper patterns and feel the quiet call towards a more sovereign way of being, then know that you are not alone on this journey. This path of self-mastery and emotional liberation is a profound one, demanding introspection and conscious practice. If you are ready to continue transforming your relationships from external battlegrounds into sacred fields for inner growth, if you are eager to deepen your understanding of your own EU and wield your will with clarity and purpose, then I invite you to become a part of this growing community. Subscribe to this channel to ensure you don't miss future insights that bridge ancient wisdom with modern challenges. Share this video with another woman who you feel might be quietly battling the same recurring conflicts, someone who yearns for a deeper understanding beyond superficial advice. Leave a comment below with your reflections. What recurring fight has been a mirror for your soul? What insight resonated most deeply with you today? Your wisdom enriches us all. Together, we can cultivate a powerful space of lucidity, sovereignty, and unwavering support on this transformative journey. Let us walk this path together, consciously building a life anchored in the unshakable power of the self.